Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we actually aren't doing your standard sports recap. Instead, we're going to be performing a bit of an autopsy on a multi-billion-dollar corporate takeover that is happening right in our own backyards. Look, every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup delivers absolutely unmatched athletic folklore, right? But behind the beautiful game lies a meticulously engineered financial megaproject that has literally shattered every economic record in human history. So welcome to this explainer on the Continental Monopoly. Okay, let's dive into the blueprint. Here is our agenda for today. Number 1, the Continental Monopoly. 2, the math of expansion. 3, the infrastructure arbitrage. 4, the municipal debt trap. And finally, 5, data and soft power. So let's start things off with a massive question. Why on earth would you expand a perfect tournament? I mean, for decades, the FIFA World Cup followed this highly successful blueprint. One nation builds the stadiums, hosts 32 teams, and throws a massive one-month festival. 32 was widely considered the perfect number for a sports tournament. But democratic countries eventually woke up and realized that signing a blank check for FIFA to cover these wildly skyrocketing hosting costs was, well, it was absolute economic suicide. Turns out voters really don't love paying billions of dollars for stadiums that just sit completely empty a month later. The old model was completely broken, so FIFA didn't scale down. No, they did the exact opposite. All right, Section 1, the Continental Monopoly, a corporate takeover. And this brilliantly illustrates the shift. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is no longer just a sporting event. It's a full-blown corporate takeover staged across 3 massive nations: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Under the old democratic 32-team format, they played 64 matches. From a strictly financial perspective, that meant FIFA's revenue potential had hit a very hard ceiling. There are only so many broadcasting hours and sponsor logos you can physically squeeze into a one-month window, right? Well, the new Monopoly features 48 teams playing a staggering 104 matches across 16 North American host cities. It was designed specifically to just completely shatter that economic ceiling. To really put that into perspective, just look at this staggering $4 billion figure. Those 40 extra matches represent hundreds of additional hours of live, premium television content. More matches mean more commercial breaks, more pregame shows, and of course, more digital streaming subscriptions. And think about it, who's really paying for those extra subscriptions and premium cable tiers? That's right, it's us, the fans. Because of this massive expansion, media companies were forced to pay staggering premiums, which pushed FIFA's total broadcasting revenue for this single cycle well past the $4 billion mark. The stakes here are absolutely immense. Moving on to Section 2, the math of expansion, scaling the monopoly. Let's look at the actual geopolitical and corporate math driving this unprecedented 48-team expansion. The fundamental law of corporate growth is super simple. Expansion equals revenue. Opening up 16 new qualifying spots wasn't just some heartfelt gesture of global inclusion, no way. It was an absolute masterclass in scaling a monopoly. Picture a nation that has never qualified before, or, hasn't in decades. Suddenly, their team secures a spot in the FIFA World Cup. Overnight, their entire economic behavior shifts. Families rush out to buy brand new big screen TVs. Millions of fans buy the new official jerseys. They subscribe to specialized sports apps literally just to watch the games. By allowing 16 new nations to qualify, FIFA effectively forced massive emerging markets to open their domestic checkbooks, ensuring that their corporate partners could sell merchandise to an entirely new demographic of billions of people. Section 3, the infrastructure arbitrage, the illusion of existing stadiums. This brings us to exactly how FIFA bypassed what economists like to call the curse of the white elephants. We've all seen host nations spend billions on mega stadiums that were completely abandoned after the tournament ended. No rational government today would agree to build 10 new 60,000-seat stadiums from scratch. So FIFA utilized something called infrastructure arbitrage. Instead of a developing nation, they chose North America, leveraging the sheer scale of the NFL and Major League Soccer. I mean, venues like AT&T Stadium in Dallas and SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, these are already multi-billion-dollar entertainment cathedrals. And they are often heavily subsidized by local taxpayers, mind you. They are pre-built with luxury suites and designed explicitly to extract maximum cash from high-net-worth individuals. By using these existing venues, FIFA eliminated their own construction risk entirely. But do not confuse existing infrastructure with zero cost. FIFA demands absolute perfection. Because they strictly mandate natural grass pitches, multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art artificial turf systems in these NFL stadiums are literally ripped out of the ground. Next comes the installation of temporary, highly advanced drainage and irrigation systems. Then, specialized natural sod is laid down, which has to be literally coddled and pampered under artificial grow lights for months on end, kind of like a delicate houseplant. And guess who bears these massive, hidden local costs? Yeah, it certainly isn't FIFA. Section 4. The Municipal Debt Trap. Taxes, touts, and clean sites. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer contrast. Local politicians often promise this massive economic windfall, but the reality of how local wealth is actually extracted is quite different. Just look at the stark contrast in the ticketing matrix here. On one side, you have match hospitality programs. These are elite luxury suites ranging from $50,000 to over $500,000, featuring five-star dining and vintage champagne. And for multinational corporations, these are simply tax-deductible business expenses. On the flip side, you have the ordinary working-class fan. Because demand for standard tickets far outstrips the supply, they are forced into this complex digital lottery, dealing with extreme scarcity and secondary market hyperinflation where a basic ticket can flip for thousands of dollars. The stadium during the FIFA World Cup is no longer a democratic gathering space. It's an elite playground for the global corporate class. And the financial extraction doesn't just stop at ticket prices. When the US, Canada, and Mexico secured the hosting rights, they actually had to sign federal guarantees providing FIFA and its corporate partners with total tax immunity. Just think about that for a second. The United States has the IRS, which is arguably one of the most aggressive tax agencies in the entire world. Yet, a special, temporary, legal bubble is erected just for the FIFA World Cup. Billions of dollars flowing through ticket sales, merchandise, and those luxury suites completely bypass local, state, and federal tax authorities. The profits fly straight out of the North American economy and into centralized holding accounts, completely tax-free. So while the profits leave tax-free, the expenses absolutely stay local. FIFA institutes incredibly strict, clean site principles. Within a multi-block radius of the stadiums, all non-official branding is banned. Seriously, if a local, family-owned pub down the street has a competitor soda logo in their front window, they literally must cover it up or face hefty fines. Even stadium names are legally erased. SoFi and AT&T stadiums are simply called Los Angeles Stadium and Dallas Stadium, proving that FIFA's contracts supersede even billionaire NFL owners' naming rights. Meanwhile, cities like Atlanta, Boston, and Toronto are footing the bill for tens of millions of dollars in police and transit overtime, and they're contractually obligated to fund massive, highly secured fan festivals right out of their own municipal budgets. Economists summarize this harsh reality as the asymmetric risk model. As you can see here, the host city, meaning your local taxpayer dollars, absorbs 100% of the operational liability. That means paying for security, managing staggering traffic congestion, and funding all that infrastructure wear and tear. Meanwhile, the liquid wealth generated by the event is hyper-concentrated within FIFA's tax-free corporate ecosystem. Those heavily touted short-term spikes in hotel and restaurant sales, they rarely cover the massive public expenditure, leaving everyday citizens to pay off municipal bonds and public safety deficits long after the tournament packs up and leaves town. Section 5. Data and soft power, the hidden currencies. So this begs the ultimate question. If cities actually lose money, why do governments even bid for this in the first place? Well, to understand that, we first have to look at the death of linear television. The 2026 FIFA World Cup marks the total rise of the digital streaming economy. Tech giants didn't bid on these media rights just to sell traditional commercials. They want user acquisition and data harvesting. When you watch a match on a streaming app, yes, that means you. You are no longer just an audience member. You are a rich data point. They capture your location, your viewing habits, and your personal preferences to serve you hyper-targeted programmatic ads. The tournament has become a borderless digital marketplace, monetizing viewers at a micro level 24 hours a day, every single second. But beyond digital data, governments are trading in the currency of soft power. The billions spent aren't for immediate cash profit. Instead, they are massive, long-term public relations investments. For the United States, it's a strategic springboard to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, projecting total cultural and economic dominance to attract foreign investment. For Canada, the motive is entirely different. It's really about elevating its global sports profile, eagerly branding itself as a modern, diversified hub well beyond traditional resource industries. And for Mexico, Becoming the first nation to host 3 times is a highly visible, incredibly powerful vehicle to project modernization, rich heritage, and safety to global travelers. For all 3 countries, it is a glaring symbol of North American economic integration. Section 6. The Ultimate Trade Show, the Player Stock Market. Beneath the corporate suites, we really cannot forget that the pitch itself functions as the largest financial stock market for professional athletic talent ever assembled. With 48 teams, thousands of players are placed under the absolute ultimate scouting microscope, making this the biggest trade show for the global football industry. We've unpacked the aggressive math, the arbitrary infrastructure rules, the asymmetric municipal risk, and the vast data harvesting behind the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is, without a doubt, a masterfully engineered corporate takeover. So I'm going to leave you with this to ponder. In this new era of the Continental monopoly, has the pure spirit of the game been permanently eclipsed by the corporate machine? Who are global sports truly played for today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the systems around you.